I want you to close your eyes for just a moment. Not literally, please, keep watching. But imagine this with me. It's a quiet Saturday morning. The kind of morning where the light comes through the window at that soft, golden angle, and the house is still. You decide to finally tackle something you've been putting off for weeks, cleaning out the storage room. Or maybe it's the garage. Maybe it's that corner of the basement where the boxes have been stacked since the last time you moved. You open the door. A little dust floats up. You move a few things around. You're in and out in maybe 20, 30 minutes. You wash your hands, you make yourself a cup of coffee, and you think absolutely nothing of it. That moment, that ordinary, forgettable Saturday morning moment, is exactly the kind of scenario that public health researchers and infectious disease specialists point to when they describe how most people first come into contact with one of the most dangerous respiratory viruses in North America. A virus that most doctors almost never bring up in routine appointments. A virus that is especially threatening for adults over 50. And a virus that, once it takes hold in the lungs, can be fatal in nearly 4 out of 10 confirmed cases. I'm DR.Michonne, and today I want to have a conversation with you that I believe is long overdue. We are going to talk about hantavirus, what it is, why your body after 50 may be more vulnerable to it than you realize, and most importantly, 5 remarkable foods that research suggests can help your immune system build a stronger, more resilient natural defense. Please stay with me through this entire video, because what I'm going to reveal at number 1 on our countdown is something that I genuinely believe could change the way you think about your immune health. And the science behind it is more extraordinary than almost anything I've shared on this channel before. Before we begin, I want to be clear, as I always am. This video is for educational purposes only. It is not personal medical advice. Every person's health situation is unique, and if you have specific concerns about viral exposure or your immune function, please speak with your physician directly. What I'm offering you today is research-informed guidance to help you make better decisions about your daily nutrition. Now, let's talk about what hantavirus actually is. Hantavirus is not one single virus. It is a family of viruses, all carried primarily by rodents. Mice, rats, and similar small animals carry and shed the virus through their urine, droppings, and saliva. When those droppings dry out, and they dry out quickly, especially in warm, enclosed spaces like garages and attics, the viral particles become airborne. They float in the dust. They become part of the air you breathe. And this is the part that most people find alarming when they first hear it. You don't have to touch a rodent to be exposed. You don't have to be bitten. You simply have to breathe in air that contains those microscopic dried particles. One breath, in an enclosed space. That's all it takes. The most serious form of hantavirus infection in the United States and much of North America is called hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. The CDC, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, reports a fatality rate of approximately 38% among confirmed cases. Nearly 4 out of 10 people who develop full hantavirus pulmonary syndrome do not survive. That number deserves to sit with you for a moment. And here is where I need to pause and speak very directly to you, especially if you are watching this and you are over 50, because the risk calculus for hantavirus is not the same at every age. Your body's ability to respond to viral threats changes significantly as you get older, and most people have no idea just how profound that change is. There is a term in immunology that I want you to know. It is called immunosenescence. It's a scientific word for a very human experience, the gradual, natural slowing down of the immune system as we age. And while it sounds clinical and distant, the reality of it is deeply personal. Think about your immune system at 30 years old as a well-trained, rapid-response military unit. Fast, coordinated. The moment a threat enters your body, the alarm goes off, the troops mobilize, they identify the invader, and they neutralize it, often before you even feel sick. Now imagine that same unit at 55 or 60. The experience is still there, the memory is still there, but the speed has slowed, the response time has increased. Some of the most important soldiers in that unit, particularly the T cells and the natural killer cells, are fewer in number, and less immediately reactive than they used to be. A landmark study published in the journal Nature Aging found that immune cells in adults over 50 show significantly reduced interferon response. And interferon is essentially the first alarm your body sounds when a virus enters the system. When that alarm rings more quietly, when it takes longer to mobilize, viruses have a larger window of opportunity to replicate unchecked. And hantavirus is precisely the kind of virus that exploits that window. But here's what I need you to hear clearly, because I would never share something frightening with you without also giving you a reason for hope. The good news is real, it is tangible, and it is available to you in most grocery stores, health food shops, and natural markets right now. Research from Harvard Medical School, the National Institutes of Health, Stanford University, and dozens of peer-reviewed scientific journals has been quietly building a very compelling case over the last 2 decades. A case that certain nutrients, certain plant compounds, certain foods contain the biological tools to help your immune system compensate for the changes that come with age, to help it fight back more effectively, to help it build the kind of natural resilience that may make the difference when a viral threat like hantavirus enters your environment. These are not miracle cures. I am not here to sell you fantasies, but I am here to tell you, based on the science, that what you eat every single day either strengthens your immune defenses or weakens them, and most adults over 50 are not using these 5 foods nearly enough. So, let us begin our countdown. 5 foods that may help protect adults over 50 from hantavirus naturally. Starting with number 5. Number 5 on our list is a small, deep purple berry that has been used in folk medicine for centuries across Europe and North America. It grows on the elder tree, botanical name Sambucus nigra, and for much of modern medical history, mainstream science largely dismissed it as herbal tradition without real evidence. But in the last 20 years, that dismissal has been completely overturned. I'm talking about elderberry, and if you have ever taken it casually, maybe once or twice when you felt a cold coming on, I need you to hear what the science actually says, because it goes far deeper than most people realize. Elderberry is extraordinarily rich in a class of plant compounds called anthocyanins. These are the same pigments that give the berry its striking deep purple color, and they are not simply antioxidants, though they are powerful ones. A 2016 study published in the peer-reviewed journal Nutrients followed a group of air travelers, a population under significant immune stress, very similar in vulnerability profile to older adults, and found that elderberry extract significantly reduced both the duration and severity of respiratory illness compared to placebo. But here's what most people don't realize. The real power of elderberry isn't just in fighting symptoms after you're already sick. Researchers at the University of Sydney discovered that elderberry compounds have the ability to inhibit early-stage viral replication, meaning the active compounds may actually interrupt the virus's ability to multiply inside your cells before the infection fully establishes itself. For hantavirus, which is aggressive precisely because it moves rapidly through respiratory tissue, any compound that can slow or disrupt that initial replication window is of profound protective value. Elderberry also stimulates the production of cytokines, the chemical messengers your immune system uses to coordinate its response. When you are over 50 and those messengers are not firing with the same speed and intensity they once did, elderberry appears to help amplify that signaling. Multiple published studies point to elderberry's ability to increase the output of key pro-inflammatory cytokines like interleukin-6 and tumor necrosis factor, both of which are critical in the early immune response to viral invasion. The hidden health problem that elderberry targets is the weakened innate immune response that is an entirely natural consequence of aging. Elderberry does not replace what time has quietly taken, but it may help turn up the volume on defenses that have gradually grown softer over the years. The best way to consume elderberry for immune support is through a high-quality standardized extract, either in syrup form or as capsules. Look specifically for products that name Sambucus nigra and list their concentration of anthocyanins. The ideal time to take it is in the morning with breakfast, when your digestive system is fully active and absorption is at its peak. The dosage range used most consistently in published research falls between 300 and 600 milligrams of standardized extract daily. Pro tip, and this is something most people never consider: avoid elderberry products with high added sugar. Some of the most popular elderberry gummies on pharmacy shelves today contain more sugar per serving than a small piece of candy. And that sugar, even from a natural source, can actively suppress immune function for several hours after you consume it, which completely counteracts the protective benefit you're trying to build. If you prefer syrup, look for varieties sweetened with raw honey. Or simplify entirely and choose a capsule form with clean, minimal ingredients. Number 4, and I want you to resist the impulse to say, I already know about garlic, because what the research reveals about garlic's mechanisms of action goes far beyond anything discussed in a cooking show, a wellness magazine, or even a standard nutrition course. Garlic, Allium sativum, contains a sulfur compound called allicin. Allicin does not exist in an intact garlic clove. It is produced in a remarkable biochemical reaction that occurs the moment you crush, chop, or bite into garlic. When two naturally occurring substances inside the clove, a lionase and alliin, come into contact, that sharp, pungent smell that hits you when you press a clove, that is allicin activating. And that compound has been the subject of more than 500 peer-reviewed scientific studies examining its role as one of nature's most powerful antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal agents. A comprehensive review published in the journal Advances in Therapy analyzed over a dozen clinical trials on allicin-rich garlic and found consistent evidence of its ability to reduce both the frequency and the severity of respiratory infections. For adults over 50, whose lungs already face natural declines in elasticity, mucosal thickness, and the efficiency of cilia, the tiny hair-like structures that sweep pathogens out of the airways, this protection is not a minor footnote, it is a significant line of defense. But here's what most people don't realize. And this is the part I want you to pay very close attention to. Garlic doesn't simply fight viruses directly by attacking them. It also powerfully activates something inside your immune system called macrophage function. Macrophages are large, white blood cells. They are essentially the first responders of your immune defense. They patrol your tissues, identify foreign invaders, engulf and destroy them, and send out chemical alarm signals to recruit backup forces from deeper within the immune cascade. They are critical. Research from the National Institutes of Health has shown that aged garlic extract, garlic that has been naturally fermented over time, can significantly enhance macrophage activity specifically in older adults, the same population where macrophage function tends to deteriorate most noticeably with age. This means garlic may be doing one of the most targeted age-specific immune jobs of any food we know of. The hidden health problem that garlic specifically targets is chronic low-grade systemic inflammation, sometimes called inflammaging, a term coined by researchers at the University of Bologna to describe the persistent, smoldering inflammation that accumulates in the body after 50 and directly suppresses immune response to pathogens. By reducing that background inflammatory noise, garlic effectively clears the stage so that your immune system can respond more decisively when a genuine threat, like hantavirus, appears. The best way to consume garlic for maximum immune benefit is this: crush or mince 1 to 2 raw cloves and then wait 10 full minutes before you eat them or add them to heat. That waiting period is not optional. It is the time required for the allicin to fully form through the enzymatic reaction I described. After the 10 minutes, you can add crushed garlic to a salad, spread it on toast with olive oil, stir it into a warm soup just before serving, or eat it directly if your stomach tolerates it. Raw is significantly more potent than cooked because high heat destroys the enzyme that creates allicin. Pro tip: if raw garlic irritates your digestive system, try black garlic. Black garlic is whole garlic that has been aged under controlled heat and humidity for several weeks, a fermentation process that transforms allicin into a compound called S-allylcysteine, which is actually better absorbed by the human body than fresh allicin and is dramatically gentler on the stomach. It also has a sweet, almost balsamic flavor that makes it genuinely enjoyable to eat on its own. We are now at the midpoint of our countdown, and this is precisely where things get genuinely extraordinary. Number 3 is a golden orange root that has been at the center of Ayurvedic medicine for over 4,000 years. It has been used across India, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East for inflammation, infection, wound healing, and longevity. And in the last 30 years, it has become one of the most intensively researched natural compounds in modern pharmacology. I am talking about turmeric and its primary active compound, curcumin. Now, you may have heard about turmeric for joint pain, you may have seen it promoted for digestion or skin health, and the research in all of those areas is genuinely strong. But what I want to focus on today, the aspect that is most directly relevant to hantavirus protection for adults over 50, is the profound and specific way that curcumin interacts with the immune system at a cellular level. A major review study published in 2021 in the journal Frontiers in Immunology examined curcumin's effects across the entire spectrum of immune function. The findings were remarkable. Curcumin was shown to modulate the activity of T cells, B cells, natural killer cells, macrophages, and dendritic cells, essentially every major immune cell type, through multiple simultaneous biochemical pathways. It is, in the language of pharmacology, a multi-target immunomodulator, and that word, immunomodulator, is the key to understanding why it matters so specifically for hantavirus. Here's the critical concept I want you to understand. Hantavirus does not kill primarily by overwhelming the body with direct viral destruction. It kills through what researchers call a cytokine storm. When the virus enters the lungs, the immune system can overreact. It floods the lung tissue with inflammatory signals. The tissue swells, fluid accumulates, the lung's ability to transfer oxygen into the bloodstream collapses. It is this catastrophic inflammatory overreaction, not merely the virus itself, that drives the devastating fatality rate of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. And here is where curcumin becomes critically important for adults over 50. Research from Johns Hopkins University has demonstrated that curcumin appears to act as a regulatory influence on the immune response. It helps modulate cytokine production in both directions. It can stimulate the immune system when it is underperforming, and it appears to temper the overreaction when the immune system risks causing more damage than the virus itself. This dual regulatory capacity is something that very few natural compounds possess. The hidden health problem that turmeric targets is this precise immune dysregulation that comes with age. The tendency of the aging immune system to swing between insufficient response and excessive inflammatory reaction, rather than maintaining the precise, calibrated balance of youth. The best way to consume turmeric for maximum bioavailability involves three things working together: turmeric powder or fresh root, black pepper, and a healthy fat. The reason is pure biochemistry. Curcumin alone has notoriously poor bioavailability. Your digestive system struggles to absorb it. But piperine, the active compound in black pepper, increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%, according to research published in the journal Planta Medica. And because curcumin is fat-soluble rather than water-soluble, pairing it with a healthy fat, coconut oil, full-fat milk, or olive oil, further enhances that absorption. A warm golden milk, half a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, a small amount of coconut oil, and warm whole or plant-based milk. Taken in the evening is one of the most effective and pleasant ways to build consistent curcumin intake. Pro tip: evening is the ideal time to take turmeric. Curcumin also has well-documented mild sedative and cortisol-regulating properties. Research from several universities suggests it can improve sleep onset and sleep quality, and deep, restorative sleep is the single most important period for immune system repair and consolidation. Combining turmeric with better sleep is a compound benefit that most people never think to put together. We are almost at number 1 now. Almost. But I need you to hear what I'm about to tell you about our number 2 food first, because it may be something you already have in your kitchen, something you've been consuming without understanding just how much it could be doing for your immune resilience. Number 2 is green tea. Not because it has become a wellness cliche, not because it appears on every health list ever written, but because the science behind its primary active compound, epigallocatechin-gallate, more commonly known as EGCG, is among the most consistent, well-replicated, and robustly documented in all of natural health science. EGCG is a type of catechin, a polyphenolic antioxidant found in exceptionally high concentrations in green tea leaves. And what makes it extraordinary in the context of viral defense specifically is a mechanism that researchers only fully began to understand in the last decade. Viruses cannot simply float through your body doing damage at will. They have to get inside your cells. To do that, they attach to specific receptor sites on the surface of your cells, like a key designed for a particular lock. Once the virus binds to that receptor and enters the cell, it hijacks the cell's entire molecular machinery to replicate itself, sometimes thousands of times over within hours. A significant study published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences in 2020 found that EGCG has the ability to physically bind to viral surface proteins, the keys the virus uses to unlock your cells and block that initial entry mechanism. It does not attack the virus after it has already entered. It jams the lock before the virus can get in at all. This has been demonstrated with multiple respiratory viruses, including influenza strains and several coronaviruses, and researchers at Osaka University in Japan have proposed that the same blocking mechanism is likely relevant to other RNA-based respiratory viruses, a category that includes hantavirus. But EGCG's immune support doesn't stop at blocking entry. It also powerfully supports what immunologists call Th1 immune response, specifically the arm of your immune system responsible for combating intracellular viral infections.
After the age of 50, the balance between Th1 and Th2 immunity tends to shift. The body becomes more prone to allergic reactions, chronic inflammation, and autoimmune type responses, while the antiviral intracellular defense arm becomes less robust and less reactive. Green tea catechins appear to help restore that balance toward more effective antiviral defense. The hidden health problem that green tea targets is the oxidative stress that both accelerates immune aging and creates the internal environment in which viruses thrive. Every single day, your body produces molecules called reactive oxygen species, free radicals, as a natural byproduct of metabolism. Over years and decades, those free radicals accumulate damage in tissues, impair cellular communication, and erode immune precision. EGCG is one of the most powerful free radical neutralizers ever measured in any food, with an antioxidant capacity that significantly exceeds that of vitamin C and vitamin E in certain laboratory models. The best time to drink green tea for maximum immune benefit is mid-morning, approximately 90 minutes after waking, and at least 30 minutes before or after a meal. This timing maximizes catechin absorption while avoiding the interference that green tea's naturally occurring tannins can cause with dietary iron absorption from food. For adults over 50 who may already be managing iron levels carefully, this timing strategy is particularly important. Aim for 2 to 3 cups of high-quality loose-leaf green tea daily, and if you want a significant upgrade in potency, consider incorporating matcha, which is finely ground whole green tea leaves. A single cup of matcha has been shown to contain the catechin equivalent of approximately 10 standard cups of brewed green tea. Pro tip, never pour boiling water directly onto green tea leaves. This is one of the most common mistakes people make, and it quietly destroys a large portion of the very compounds you're trying to consume. The ideal brewing temperature for green tea is around 80 degrees Celsius, approximately 175 degrees Fahrenheit. Simply allow your water to sit for 2 to 3 minutes after boiling before pouring it over the leaves. Research suggests this small temperature adjustment can preserve up to 40% more EGCG per cup. Such a simple change, such a meaningful difference. Now it is time. I have been building toward this moment since the very first seconds of this video, and I want you to know the food I'm about to share with you is not glamorous. It has not been the star of 1,000 headlines, but in my view, as a physician who studies immune aging based on the quality and depth of the published research, it may be the single most important food that adults over 50 can consistently add to their diet when it comes to building natural protection against viral threats. Number 1. Medicinal mushrooms, specifically shiitake, reishi, and meitake. I know, I can almost hear some of you saying it. Mushrooms, that's the grand reveal. Bear with me, just a few more minutes, because what the research has uncovered about these 3 varieties of medicinal fungi over the last 20 years is, without exaggeration, some of the most astonishing evidence in the field of immunonutrition. The key active compounds in medicinal mushrooms are called beta-glucans. They are long-chain polysaccharide molecules, complex carbohydrates, and they have a truly unique ability that sets them apart from almost any other food compound in existence. Beta-glucans interact directly with specialized receptor sites on your immune cells, specifically receptors called dectin-1 and complement receptor 3. When beta-glucans bind to these receptors, they trigger a cascading activation of immune activity that is unlike what any vitamin, mineral, or standard antioxidant can produce. This is not a gentle nudge. This is a direct immune activation signal. The body interprets beta-glucan binding as a biological alarm, and it responds with a coordinated mobilization of multiple immune cell types simultaneously. A landmark clinical trial, published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition, one of the most respected nutrition research journals in the world, studied a group of adults who consumed whole-dried shiitake mushrooms daily for 4 consecutive weeks. The results were striking. Participants showed a significant and measurable increase in secretory immunoglobulin A, abbreviated as SIgA, which is a specialized antibody that lines and protects the mucosal surfaces of your respiratory tract, your nose, your throat, your bronchial airways. And this is directly, specifically relevant to hantavirus, because hantavirus enters the body through the respiratory mucosa. Inhalation of viral particles through the nose and mouth is the primary and almost exclusive route of infection. Strengthening that mucosal antibody barrier is one of the most targeted, direct forms of protection you can build through dietary intervention, and shiitake mushrooms appear to do it meaningfully, measurably, in just 4 weeks. But here's what most people don't realize. Reishi mushroom, known for thousands of years in Chinese medicine as lingji, the mushroom of immortality, contains a completely different class of active compounds called triterpenoids. And these triterpenoids have been shown in research supported by the National Cancer Institute to directly enhance the activity of natural killer cells, also called NK cells. Natural killer cells are your immune system's elite special forces. They do not wait for the main immune cascade to organize. They patrol your body continuously, and when they identify a cell that has been infected by a virus, a cell whose surface proteins have been altered by viral invasion, they destroy it immediately, before the virus inside that cell can complete its replication cycle and spread further. In adults over 50, natural killer cell activity often declines by 20 to 30% compared to younger adults. That is a 30% reduction in your immune system's most rapid, most proactive form of viral defense. Reishi appears to restore and amplify NK cell activity even in older adults, which is precisely the population that needs it most. And then there is maiteke, the third member of this medicinal mushroom trinity. Research from New York Medical College found that maiteke beta-glucan specifically activates dendritic cells, which are sometimes called the intelligence officers of the immune system. Dendritic cells analyze threats, decode their molecular signatures, and train the adaptive immune system, your T cells and B cells, on how to recognize and respond to that specific pathogen in the context of hantavirus, for which there is currently no approved vaccine. Having a population of well-trained, highly activated dendritic cells represents one of your best biological strategies for a rapid, organized response to first exposure. The hidden health problem that medicinal mushrooms target is the broad, cumulative deterioration of immune surveillance that comes with aging, the gradual dimming of the body's ability to detect, identify, and destroy viral threats before they achieve critical mass inside the body. The best way to consume medicinal mushrooms is through a combination approach. Cook with fresh or dried shiitake and maitake regularly. Saute them in olive oil and garlic, add them to broths and soups, blend them into warm drinks. For therapeutic level immune support, a high-quality combination extract supplement taken in the morning with food, and a separate reishi extract in the evening for its NK cell stimulating and sleep-enhancing properties is an approach supported by multiple research protocols. Pro tip: when selecting mushroom supplements, look for 3 specific things. First, the words fruiting body on the label. The fruiting body is the visible mushroom itself, where the highest concentrations of beta-glucans are found. Second, hot water extracted. Beta-glucans are locked inside the fungal cell wall in a form your digestive system cannot break down without extraction. Hot water extraction releases them. Products made from raw mushroom powder without extraction may contain minimal absorbable beta-glucans. Third, a listed beta-glucan percentage. Reputable brands test and specify the actual beta-glucan content per serving. Look for at least 30%. These 3 markers separate genuinely effective products from those that simply have a picture of a mushroom on the label. Now that we have completed our countdown, 5 powerful, research-supported foods that may help protect your immune system from threats like hantavirus, I need to give you something equally important, because knowing what to eat is half the picture. The other half is knowing what to do and what to stop doing. Extra prevention rules and lifestyle habits. The first rule is environmental. Before you clean any enclosed space that has been undisturbed for weeks or months, a garage, an attic, a basement, a storage shed, a cabin that was closed for the winter, wear an N95 respirator mask and waterproof rubber gloves. Not a cloth mask, not a surgical mask. An N95, which filters at least 95% of airborne particles. Do not sweep or vacuum dry rodent droppings. That action aerosolizes the viral particles and creates the exact inhalation risk we are trying to avoid. Instead, wet the affected area thoroughly with a solution of 1.5 cups of bleach per gallon of water. Allow it to soak for 5 minutes, and then wipe it up with paper towels that you immediately dispose of in a sealed bag. This step alone may save your life. The second rule is sleep, and I say this with the full weight of what the research shows. A landmark study from Carnegie Mellon University found that adults who sleep fewer than 6 hours per night are 4 times more likely to develop a respiratory infection when exposed to a virus compared to those sleeping 7 hours or more. 4 times. Not slightly more likely. 4 times more vulnerable. During deep sleep, your natural killer cells replenish. Your T cells consolidate immune memory. Your body produces the majority of its daily immune regulatory hormones, including melatonin and growth hormone. Every night of poor sleep is a night your immune defenses are partially stood down. The third rule is blood sugar management, and this one surprises most people who don't have diabetes and therefore don't think it applies to them.
Research published in the journal Diabetes Care found that elevated post-meal blood glucose, even at the pre-diabetic or borderline normal range, suppresses neutrophil function for up to 5 hours after eating. Neutrophils are frontline immune cells critical in the early response to viral invasion. A blood sugar spike after a high carbohydrate lunch could literally be reducing your immune capacity for the entire afternoon. Pair every meal with adequate fiber, healthy fats, and protein to blunt those glucose peaks. This single dietary habit has immune implications that most nutrition advice never fully communicates. The fourth rule is daily movement. Research from Appalachian State University found that adults over 50 who walked briskly for 30 minutes daily had approximately 40% fewer upper respiratory infections compared to sedentary controls. Movement increases the circulation of immune cells throughout the body, physically moving them from storage in lymph nodes and bone marrow into active circulation where they can patrol, detect, and respond. You do not need a gym membership. You do not need a structured program. 30 minutes of brisk walking every single day is one of the most powerful immune interventions in existence, and it is available to almost everyone. Warnings about common mistakes. Before my final thoughts, I must address 3 mistakes that I see adults over 50 make regularly when they try to improve their immune health. Mistakes that can quietly work against them. Mistake number 1 is starting everything at once. I know this video has given you a great deal of information, and the impulse to act on all of it immediately is completely understandable, but please resist it. Your body needs time to adjust to new compounds, particularly when you are over 50 and your digestive and metabolic systems are more sensitive. Start with 1 or 2 changes. Give them 3 to 4 weeks. Observe how your body responds, then add the next layer, and before you begin any new supplement regimen, please inform your physician.
Some herbal compounds, including elderberry and garlic at high doses, can interact with anticoagulants, immunosuppressants, and certain blood pressure medications. This is not fear-mongering. It is simply good medical practice. Mistake number 2 is expecting rapid results. The immune system does not rebuild overnight. In every clinical study I referenced in this video, meaningful improvements in immune biomarkers required a minimum of 4 to 8 weeks of consistent dietary intervention. The adults who experienced elevated SIGA from shiitake mushrooms in the study I mentioned, that measurement was taken at 4 weeks, not 4 days. Trust the process. The biology is working even when you cannot feel it yet. Consistency over time is the variable that matters most. Mistake number 3, and this is the one that catches even health-conscious people completely off guard, is ignoring the gut. Approximately 70% of your entire immune system lives inside your gut, in a vast and complex network of immune tissue called GALT, gut-associated lymphoid tissue. If your gut microbiome is depleted, inflamed, or imbalanced, even the most powerful immune-supporting foods in the world will have a significantly reduced effect because the gut is where much of their immune activation actually occurs. Support your gut every single day. Plain yogurt with live active cultures, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, miso, a high-quality probiotic supplement containing both lactobacillus and bifidobacterium strains. These are not optional additions to your immune strategy. They are the foundation on which everything else rests. I want to take a quiet moment before I close. You are here because you care. You care about your health, about your quality of life, about being present and vital for the people who love you and depend on you. That is not a small thing, and the fact that you stayed through this entire video, through the science, through the detail, through everything, tells me that the information I've shared today is going to be used with intention and wisdom. Hantavirus is a real threat. It is not something to live in fear of, but it is something to take seriously, especially after 50, when the immune system we have always relied upon begins to ask for more support than we knew to give it. The 5 foods we explored today are not magic. They are not a guarantee, but they are nature's most powerful, research-validated tools for immune resilience in the aging body. Elderberry, to amplify the immune alarm system and potentially interrupt early viral replication. Garlic, to activate your frontline macrophage defenses and reduce the chronic inflammation that suppresses immune response. Turmeric, to protect against the inflammatory overreaction that makes respiratory viruses so dangerous, and to modulate immunity with the precision that aging disrupts. Green tea, to block viral entry at the cellular level and restore the antiviral balance that age gradually shifts. And medicinal mushrooms, to restore and strengthen the immune surveillance, the mucosal defense, and the natural killer cell capacity that the passage of time quietly and inevitably takes from all of us. These are not expensive choices. They are not complicated. They are available to you. They are waiting for you. And your body, which has been protecting you faithfully your entire life,
deserves this kind of deliberate, informed support in return. Now I genuinely want to hear from you. Which of these 5 foods surprised you most? Was it the medicinal mushrooms at number 1? Was it the mechanism of green tea blocking viral cell entry? Or was there something else in this video that shifted your thinking in a way you didn't expect? Please drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one. And while you're there, share your age with me and tell me which food you're going to try first. Your comment may be the thing that helps someone else watching this video make a decision that protects their health. If this video gave you something valuable today, and I sincerely hope it did, please press the like button right now. It takes 2 seconds, and it tells YouTube that this kind of evidence-informed, carefully researched content deserves to reach more people who may need it. And if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do so now. I publish a new video on natural health, immune resilience, and longevity every single week. Every video is built around one purpose: to give you the kind of information that changes how you take care of yourself, the kind of information that a 15-minute doctor's appointment simply does not have time to cover. There is a video appearing on your screen right now about the 5 morning habits that research shows can dramatically strengthen your immune system after 50. Watch that next. It pairs directly and powerfully with everything we covered today.
I am DR.Michonne. Thank you sincerely for being here. Please take care of yourself because you matter more than you may realize.